What generally happens on these calls? Like, does someone just do live cold calling, or does it
Yes,
work?
that someone would be me. But yeah, this is our newest call on a weekly basis. We have 5 weekly calls across our programs. So
Easy.
Tuesday calls mindset, today's call is live cold calling, and then for the full SDR Whisper program, it's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday.
Dylan, quick question.
Yeah.
These leads that you're calling at the moment, obviously they're inbound leads, but like, what are they for? Like, are they for like sales as well? Like for them to get started with sales, or what is it for? Like the offer?
So these specifically are for our placement offer.
Got it.
Yeah,
Okay. Oh, so they're like business owners.
correct.
Oh, nice.
Hey, Dylan, Automated Revenue. How you doing?
Good, how you doing?
I'm doing well, doing well. I know we texted you. You opted in to learn about appointment setters. You said you're in a meeting, so I figured I'd give you a ring back.
Yeah, I'm kind of in between them right now, so.
Nice, lucky me. Well, cool. I just wanted to reach out. I know you had some interest. Want to learn a little bit more about your company and why appointment setters might make sense now versus later.
Right, right. Yeah, I also just kind of wanted to know how it works, right? What it costs, how it works, all that kind of stuff.
Absolutely. Are you looking for someone to do like cold calling outbound, or do you have like leads coming in that you need people to call and book meetings with?
I have leads that they could call.
It broke up there. What did you say?
I do have leads, yeah.
Okay. Are they coming from like, is it like a list that you bought, or are they like coming in from like a marketing channel?
From like a marketing channel.
Nice. Are you like running ads?
It's kind of like my upline sends them to us.
Got it. Nice. What's the offer?
What do you mean? What was that?
Like, what is the product or service that you're selling?
Oh, life insurance, long-term care insurance, Medicare supplement.
Nice. Okay. So essentially, these people are coming in. Are they filling out like a form with their information, and then you're calling them to essentially facilitate a conversation?
It's kind of all over the place. Some of them fill out like a request form. Some of them just they looked into it in the past and never bought the other information.
Okay. And then currently, like today, Lindsay, is it you that has to be calling these leads on top of everything else you're doing?
It is, yeah.
Okay. So that's why we're on the phone, because you would love to not have to do that, right?
Yes.
Awesome. Awesome.
Yeah, spend my time doing other things.
Yeah, higher leverage. Okay. And then like historically with the time that you do have to be able to do this, I guess like if you were able to do this full time, how many meetings do you think that you could book like in a week?
We try to run 4 or 5 on our field days, so about 15 a week
Okay. Awesome. Understood.
is a perfect world, yeah.
Sweet. So to give you a little bit of background on what we do, and I appreciate the background on what you do. So we train cold callers and appointment setters specifically. So we have an entire coaching program where individuals go through our training. There's a certification process involved. Once they graduate, they become certified in our program. We work with individuals such as yourself, Lindsay. You're able to interview, evaluate, speak with, and hire our already trained phone sellers to work full time for you. They would be working inside of your business, working hand in hand with you, calling these leads, booking these appointments, so you can pretty much just focus on taking those calls and actually driving business instead of following up with leads.
Right, okay.
Yeah. Now, if let's just say I was somebody looking to join what you're doing, when I get the leads, is there like a CRM, or like what does that look like? Like what would I be walking into?
So if you get the leads, we do like a whole, like a training program and send them through, calling training and everything like that, and then they open them up they send them
Okay. And then are you looking for someone full time or part time?
part-time.
Okay. And is that like 20 hours a week? Is it like as the leads come in, or?
No, we always have so I'd say like 15, 20 hours a week is what I usually do right now. So that'll be a start.
Sweet. So how kind of the process works, like I said, we already have reps that are ready to rock and roll. They're looking for interviews, looking for opportunities. So if things sound good on your end, I can kind of talk about like the pricing model and things like that, but it's usually around a 2-week turnaround time to account for like we screen the candidates. So the first thing we want to do is try to find a candidate that has, an insurance background, right? So they already kind of know what it is that you do, so you don't have to train them from scratch in that regard.
Okay.
We screen them, make sure they're aligned with what you're looking for from a previous experience, maybe a culture, personality traits, things like that. Set up the interviews. You're able to hire that person. They usually come on as a 1099, like a contractor, like a part-time worker. You would essentially pay that rep directly. You would negotiate the compensation, kind of what that looks like. Is there an hourly? Is there a base pay? Do they get paid per appointment? Things like that. We also can help consult you on that. And like I said, that whole process is around 14 days.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then how fast would you be looking to get someone in this role?
I was kind of thinking more so like when my kids are out of school, so it'll be a lot harder for me to do it. Like summertime, probably like a good 6 weeks or so.
Okay. So you'd probably want to start with training and things like that, like you said, probably in the next week or so to fit that timeline given our timeline. And then once they join your operation, get them trained up so they're actually trained up on the phones, ready to rock and roll by that time in the summertime.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Great. So kind of how the process works, super simple. We just charge a one-time placement recruiter's fee. That's $6,800 one time. There's also a 45-day guarantee on the back end. So worst case scenario, you hire someone, they start working with you, things aren't working out. There's a replacement period of 45 days. The really nice thing is that these individuals are still inside of our coaching. So on a weekly basis, we talk to them 4 times per week on our calls. So they do role plays with us. We can do call coaching, call recordings, call feedback.
No, sorry, I'm here.
No, all good.
Didn't realize I was on.
No worries, no worries. Did you hear what I said, or do you want me to repeat that?
Yes, no, you're good.
Awesome. So that's kind of how the process works. Like I said, just a one-time fee. Everything would get paid directly to the salesperson. You're able to choose them, hire the one that fits best with you. They're already trained and certified through our program. Super smooth process.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, I'm kind of out and about. Are you able to send me like an email?
Yeah.
Kind of overview? Is that okay?
Yeah, and is it at Yahoo?
Yeah, that's fine. That's my personal one, so that's fine.
Okay. I can send that over. And I know I called you out of the blue here. You're probably in transit, things like that. So
yes, exactly.
did you want to put something on the books for next week, like a Zoom call? We could see each other. I could screen share, kind of go a little bit deeper into the process.
Email you back with a good time. Yeah, that way I can sit down, look at my schedule and everything.
Yeah, I can include my calendar link in the recap email. I'll include testimonials, case studies, give you a whole 9 yards on what we do, how we do it, and how it's worked in the past. And then we'll look to put something on the books for next week.
Okay, no, that's perfect. Awesome.
All right. Awesome. Let's have a good rest of your day, all right?
Thank you so much. You too. Have a good weekend.
You too. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
And that's how it's done, boys. Watch the master work.
I mean, not really. I mean, I definitely could have pushed more for a meeting, but she obviously didn't have her calendar open. So just kind of left it open. And also I have a little bit more authority in the business to let that sit. But yeah, I'm going to send her a follow-up right now.
Do you ever end calls prematurely and be like, oh, this person will be more receptive on a follow-up call and they already know me a little bit? Do you ever do that?
Yeah, like I said, it's always a little bit different, like being the person in the ads that they see. So I have a little bit more authority, right? But I mean, I've been doing this long enough where you can kind of know like somebody who's like gonna actually follow up with, or someone who's like, yeah, just send me some more information. That seemed like someone who's actually bought in. There's actually an inherent need. Seems like someone we can get back on the phones there. So it's a little bit different. And that just kind of comes from repetition and practice. But she seemed like someone who's obviously not by her computer. She was on the go. People were talking to her. There was background noise. She said, I caught her in between meetings. You can kind of not want to be like, oh, well, actually, let's set something tentative, like someone where you actually have to get that micro commitment. My gut told me that that's someone I can call again. She's an insurance agent. She lives and dies by the phone. Cool. Sweet. Let's keep pushing.
Hello. Yeah.
Hey, it's Dylan, Automated Revenue. How you doing?
Okay. Hey, we're not looking for the loan anymore, but thanks for the call, man.
This isn't the loan. Right.
Hello, we're speaking.
Hey, I think we had our wires crossed. We don't do loans.
Company?
No, we're not a loan company.
What do you guys do?
So you spoke with a colleague of my team, Ben, about 2 weeks ago. It was you were making a decision between linked selling and hiring a rep from us.
How you doing, man? Sorry, buddy.
No, no worries, no worries. I'm doing well, doing well. I just was doing my due diligence and follow up. I know you guys spoke around 2 weeks ago, so I wanted to kind of see where things were at.
I'm still haven't made the decision yet.
Got it. I mean, have you had a chance to kind of think through the comparison between getting somebody to outsource versus doing it yourself in-house?
Yeah. I mean, I've got like, I like the idea of not having to manage a person and all the stuff that comes with it. So I'm probably not leaning towards hiring someone.
Got it. Is it just like the headcount infrastructure of actually managing another human being?
Yeah, I just don't want to manage another person.
Got it. Got it. I mean, there's a lot of different managing styles, right? Are you thinking that it's like, I don't want to handhold someone, or is it like, I don't want to actually do any managing at all?
I don't want to do anything. I want to look at my calendar with a booked appointment.
Got it. Well, if that's where your heart's at, then I would agree that it's probably something that you'd want to do outsource. We wouldn't be the best fit there. I would say maybe it's an additive thing, right? Once this link selling is crushing it, you want to add fuel to the fire. That's when I think adding someone else to the mix would probably make more sense.
I get the hang of it. I'm watching what they're doing. I like the flow. I got everything down to a science.
Yeah.
Then I'll say, you know what? Okay, I can take this all over myself and go from there, right? Something like that.
Understood. What is what is the offer you're selling, just so I have more context?
So link selling basically says,
Well, your offer specifically.
what do you mean? What do I sell?
Yeah.
I sell a ERP system for food factories and food wholesalers, like software to manage the whole business, accounting, manufacturing, distribution.
Nice. So I guess how are you currently doing your client acquisition today without us or link selling?
I tried everything in the past. I use these guys, link selling guys. I use artificial intelligence email blasting from various domains. I would go to I use a lot of LinkedIn, myself direct with another guy who's just making connections with me for me, some guy, an offshore guy.
Okay.
And I also did situations to go to Australia. It was a bit of everything, but I want to just.
What worked the best?
Of all of those, I think I got the most leads when I had one guy messaging on my behalf on LinkedIn to people.
Got it. Okay.
Of all of them.
I mean, I would tend to agree with you. I'm the business owner, by the way.
Yeah.
We've done a lot of stuff with AI. We've paid a lot of money to different agencies to do things, quote unquote, on our behalf. And at the end of the day, right, as a business owner, you want to be able to turn the lever up or down. Right. Like the way that I look at it is like you never want to fully rely on an outsourced entity to be able to grow your business. If you said that the best thing that's worked in the past is someone who's manually doing outreach on your behalf, that's what our solution would allow you to do. Is we have people who are trained on LinkedIn specifically. They would use your login and they would be acting as you on LinkedIn. You're just going to have a little bit more personal touch. Plus, this person is going to be working hand in hand, getting more confident and secure with what you are, what you do, the ERP technology, where I just don't think like a...
So the guy who's doing the LinkedIn outreach will also be the guy making a phone call when the time is right?
Correct.
I mean, that's not bad. It's not bad.
Yeah, and you have more control.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, how about this? Obviously, you haven't made a decision yet. Obviously, I understand where your head's at, both sides of the fence, hands off or more hands on. But if what's worked in the past has been a little bit more hands on, it might make sense just for us to maybe schedule like an actual call where we can kind of dig a little bit deeper on both ends, get a little bit more granular on what this individual can do working with you.
Well, what happened was when I had the LinkedIn guy, first I had this guy who was just messaging for me on LinkedIn.
Yeah.
Right? And he would message and start off the conversation. And then as soon as the person on the thing would say, well, what would we meet about? Or what's this about? How would you do? Like, as soon as it got a little bit more specific, right?
Yeah.
The conversation, I could tell it was just, well, I'd have to jump in. Right? And I'd be watching the messages going back and forth, right?
Correct. I would say the mechanism works. Yeah. I think it sounds like you just need someone who's a little bit more trained in that arena to do it. Like we've proved out the proof of concept that sending messages from you to somebody can get a response. You just need somebody who's trained in turning this sounds cool to let's do business together.
Yeah, and so as soon as I felt that conversation, as soon as I smelled the bite, right, in that conversation on the LinkedIn,
Yeah.
I would jump in and take it over and start hand holding the guy, the prospect, and explain to him what we do and how we do it.
Yeah.
Book a meeting and all that stuff, right?
Yep.
Which is fine, but even then, like, it just wasn't enough volume.
Yeah.
Right? So, like I said, I'm just not satisfied with anything I've done. So,
Got it.
I don't know if I can. I don't know if you talked to people like me before, but like, I don't know what.
All the time. All the time. If I didn't talk to people that said that, I would not be in the position I'm in. And we do a lot more than just give you a trained sales rep. We do a lot of business coaching and consulting. Like, we help write scripts, we help set up systems, automations, and do a lot of consulting on like the business to business type thing, because it's so much more like what you're talking about. It's so much more than just having an operator, right? It's really a system, it's a process, it's a cohesive, congruent outreach approach that really gets the job done. That's what we'd be able to help you with, is not just the person who can do the LinkedIn messaging. That's simple. What are we saying? How are we saying it?
Like I'm sitting here saying, like, if you were to go, okay, so let's say you had, let's say an ERP company, a big ERP company like Oracle or Microsoft, or somebody wanted to hire somebody who can sell the way I can sell, right?
Yep.
That person is worth, that's about $130,000, $140,000, okay?
Yeah.
What I can do. However, I don't have time to do that, right? So what I'm trying to say is, if somebody can just get me the damn appointment, right?
Yeah.
You got $130,000 that open.
Yes. This is what we do. We implement somebody in your business that is the facilitator of not only conversations, but as well as booked appointments. That's this person's sole job. That's how they're compensated. That's how they're evaluated, as well as that's how they're trained. So I'm not sure how deep Ben went in on your last conversation, but we certify each rep through our training program. Once they're certified in what to do, how to do it, they would work with somebody like yourself. You would just teach them how to do it for you, right? Your value proposition, why your ERP solution is better than an Oracle.
Sure.
Then they get to work booking appointments for you. And then you are just realizing that booked appointment, and you're able to do what you're able to do, your zone of genius. Our person is focused on their zone of genius, as well as we're going to be there hand-holding you, making sure that we're doing the right things, saying the right things, and understanding what's happening of the activity that we're doing. So if we send 100 messages a day, how many people are replying? The people that are replying, what is the sentiment of that reply? What replies or what messaging is getting the most positive replies? How can we do more of that? How can we find better, more qualified people on LinkedIn? All those types of things will help with.
Right now, I'm listening to you. So I've got to sort of make a decision as to, so I'll be frank with you, right? Link selling wants to be $4,000 a month, okay?
Yep.
Straight up. They're going to charge me, I was just talking about it earlier. He wants to charge me $4,000 a month, and it's going to be a combination of messaging on LinkedIn, email, and phone calls.
Got it.
They're going to work through email, cold phone calls, and link messages. And between those three, they're going to work potential prospects. That's a reasonable deal for those three.
Correct. If you knew who that person was, because it really comes down to how trained they are on what you do, right? Just because you can do the thing doesn't mean you're going to bear fruit from it.
No, I don't know how good. Yeah.
And you said you've used them in the past, correct?
I've used them in the past, and they booked some okay meetings.
Okay.
So that was okay. Now I'm thinking, with the advent of AI and email mixed together, right, where you make like 10 domains and send it out, you know
Yep.
all that stuff.
I'm very familiar.
With that stuff, yeah. That stuff, now these guys, I'm thinking, should be even better than they were before, because they can find more needles in the haystack.
Yeah. So I mean, you're a business owner. How many LinkedIn messages and how many emails do you get on a weekly basis that you look at and you exactly? Those are all of what you're explaining, right? It's high volume.
So my now, what I realized as I'm in the buyer's seat right now, right?
Yep.
So as a buyer, what I realized is nobody's gonna make me buy something I don't want. If I'm in the market, right, I'm willing to hear people out.
Correct.
So back to that then, if there's more, if automation can find more of those needles in the haystack that are actually in the market, maybe things can work better. Now you're talking to more qualified people, that's the benefit of AI and all this stuff. That's how I'm thinking out loud. Am I wrong, or you tell me you know?
It's a little bit of both. right? Like the way I look at it, the way you win a war is not by one singular approach, right? Like you need artillery to weaken the shores, but then you also need specialists to come in with a sniper rifle and actually kill the general, right? And actually dismantle the organization, right? The opposing front. So I would say that there's really not one size like this will work, this won't work. Everything works. It's just what is going to work specifically for you and what's going to bear the most fruit. Me, as somebody who's very protective of my time, I would rather less meetings, but with better people than more meetings with okay people, right? Like just to book meetings for book meetings' sake is arguably more cost prohibitive because you're now wasting time that you didn't have to waste, right? So what I would say, yep,
I'm a qualified lead because I'm in the market, right?
correct.
Like every time you have a call with me is not as wasteful because I'm potentially gonna buy something at least.
If you want, yeah, that'd be great, right?
Right.
Yes,
If I get leads of people who are in the market, that's a beautiful cause. Yes, would you say?
correct. So the differences in the solutions is one is going to do more volume, but with maybe a lesser likelihood of success. One will do less volume, but more targeted, more personalized, because everyone's doing the low cost AI mass volume,
Yeah.
just numbers game. You and I are both a victim of mass outreach. It's in my inbox all the time. I get it on DMs, on Instagram, on LinkedIn messaging. You know when it's a human and you know when it's AI.
So one second. So this is my question to you now.
Yeah.
That you're trying to tell me something like two business guys, right?
Yep.
Fine. If you got, even if it's sent to you by an AI or computer, but what if it's something you're in the market for? What do you do?
So this is a good example. So I do a lot of content, right? You saw my ads. I record a lot of videos. I post it across multiple social platforms, right? People reach out to me with things that I'm in market to buy, but the quality of said outreach determines the quality that I perceive that company to have. If I know that it's a real person that found me, said something relevant about what I did, maybe they watched some videos and they're providing relevant things that are actually topical, I'm going to book a call. With AI, it's very hard to be super relevant to the person, right? Because you as a buyer want to feel like you want to buy, not that you're being sold or you're just a number in a list that someone pulled from a software and they're hoping to get lucky. It's kind of the feeling. Right. And I feel like the more we get into mass outreach, the more cold it actually feels. It's like this message was sent to 100 different Ricks. This message was sent to 1,000 different Dylans. Right.
Right. And then you miss this sort of emotional connection, building side of the sales cycle.
Exactly. Right. Like imagine if I was reaching out to you, right? You didn't put your information in and I saw that maybe you made a post on LinkedIn saying that you're looking to get back into business. I mentioned that saying, hey, saw on LinkedIn that you're looking to do this thing. Congratulations, was just curious. As you're starting things up back in the business, I'm assuming you're going to be ramping up things on the sales side. Let me know if you're interested in hiring a trained sales rep to help you get back on your feet in the business. That's a super relevant, personal, top of mind message that only a human being that's trained can actually send you.
Right. I agree with you what you just said, 100%.
Yeah, that's the difference of what we do. That's why companies work with us is because they've done all the other things. Like you said, not everything has worked. So it's a little bit of a different breath of fresh air to have you actually stand out. Yes, it's going to be way less volume, but it'll be way more personal, emotional to actually get the people you want to get. Plus, it's more targeted because you tell the salesperson, this is the only type of person I want to reach out to. That's the only people that are getting reached out to, right? So back to my main point, like both of them can work.
Yeah, yeah.
We're both in agreement there.
I'm listening to you. I mean, at the end of the day, we're looking at ROI. How did it happen? Who cares?
Yeah. Well, my question to you is with the linked seller, you pay them regardless of results.
Yeah. I mean, I pay them $4,000 a month and I watch and if something happens, great, I'll pay them the next month again. If not, I'll, put a stop on the check payment, whatever, I guess.
Yeah.
So in a way, it's always pay as you go. Sometimes it could be in a lag. Sometimes it could be in arrears, right?
Yeah. But also, so like in total transparency, like years ago, we did that. We did the mass emails, the LinkedIn outreach. And ultimately, no matter how good our results were with our clients, at the end of the day, like you said, once you figure something out and you prove it to be a viable client acquisition model, you then stop paying the outsourced agency and you bring things in-house. So we kind of read the writing on the wall and we're like, why are we going to be why are we going to be the first girlfriend, not the wife? Right?
Right, right.
We're giving you the wife, right? The long-term option, the thing that you can actually grow. This salesperson is in your business. They're getting better. They can grow and mature within your company, right? So I gotta jump here to another meeting. Do you want to meet next week on like a Zoom? I can kind of screen share what it is it looked like, give you a little bit more context so you can really make the best decision here moving forward.
Sure, send me an invite for next week, because I'm not gonna pull the trigger on this for a good couple of weeks.
Got it. Is this usually a good time for you? Like 5:30 Eastern?
Yeah, okay, that's fine.
Cool. How about Tuesday, 5:30?
What's the date?
The 9th.
Yep, that works, man.
All right. I will shoot you over a calendar invite to the Certis group.
GRP doc.
Awesome. I will shoot that over to you right now. Let me know if you get this. Should be hitting your inbox in like 10 seconds here.
Yep, all right, there it is. Sounds good, man.
Awesome. Well, I appreciate the conversation. It was a good one. I look forward to picking up where we left off on Tuesday, so you can be totally confident in the decision you make.
All right, thanks, appreciate it.
Have a good one. Bye-bye. Ooh, there we go, boys. Another long font one. That's what you gotta do.
Yeah, how do you prevent those calls from not going, or like not going over like 20 minutes, 25? Like essentially, how do you prevent them from not going too long?
They go as long as they need. Like I didn't let that wasn't like a long drawn out thing. Those were really things that needed to be asked and answered.
Yeah.
Because if I asked too prematurely, there wouldn't be a substantiation for his time. I sold him on the idea, and by him agreeing at the end of that call that what I had to say actually made relevant sense, then I was able to ask and earn that meeting. But if I try to bully him into the call, sure, I could have booked it, but would he have showed up? Less
Probably
likely
not.
than now.
Yeah.
Right? So like that call was actually relevant enough, and I was kind of getting the feel of this was just going to go back and forth like ping pong the whole time. So that's why I said I got to
Yeah.
jump here to another meeting, and that's like a good end point because it is coming up on the hour. So it made sense. Like I got to go. This is a great conversation. We're having a good back and forth. Like let's just put something on the calendar just so you can. And the reason, did you see how I pitched it of like I'll be able to do more than I can right now?
Yeah.
So then you can make a confident decision in what you're going to do for your business, whether it's us or not us. That's the fair proposition. It seemed fair. He booked a call. I kept him on the phone until he saw it. Booked call.
Nice. Okay. Yeah, so I was just asking, what are some of the main points that you're looking for on that initial call before you get them booked onto another call, like onto another Zoom call?
I mean, that guy
like
is
just
going to
for
be a strict dollars and cents type thing. Like that guy is super dollar focused.
yeah.
So we'll see where that goes. I give that guy a 20% chance of closing, maybe 10. But I'm also on a cold calling meeting, and my job is to book calls right now for you guys. So I'm booking calls. But yeah, let's see if we can sneak one in the next 8 minutes.
Hello.
Hello.
Is it?
This is Dylan, automated revenue. We were texting about 2 weeks ago. You said give me 2 weeks in the text. So I was just following up, doing my due diligence here. Yeah, we're with automated revenue. You saw one of our ads about hiring employment setters. Does that ring a bell?
That's right. I am not ready for that yet.
Got it. Is it like a timing thing or like getting more leads, infrastructure built, or what would be the time delay?
I am barely getting started
Got it.
with my agency. I have 1 or 2 clients,
Nice.
and so it's just a matter of just getting things built up and trying to get the whole thing automated, and then trying to wrap my head around what this is going to look like, because this is my first time building up an agency.
Well, congrats. What's the offer?
Thank you. What do I offer?
Yeah.
I'm trying to do everything marketing. So I do digital marketing for sure. I'm white labeling that whole process out, so I'm not myself.
Nice.
And then content marketing, but specifically with video,
Okay.
because that's just so very effective right now. And so right now I'm in the process of finding a reliable source to do both, primarily to do the editing, and then I'm just going to have to build kind of a network up for videographers, basically as needed, based on where I find my clients.
Nice. And then are you selling to any specific type of person or just people who are interested in general?
I think the market that I want to work with is coaches and consultants.
Nice.
And I do want to work with staff also, just because I know how much they need these particular services. And I know that a lot of them don't really get their messaging on point.
Yeah, SaaS companies aren't great with video content. I would agree.
Yeah, and coaches and consultants really kind of the same thing.
Yeah.
What I've found is that everybody, they know what they do, but they don't know how to express what they do to their target audience. And a lot of them, they provide great services, but they just don't know how to present it in a clear way.
Yeah.
So
yeah, and the reason I'm asking, apologies for the interrogation here, Herbert, but I'm curious, as a business owner, trying to help you out. But we also do a lot of things that are outside of just like hiring an appointment setter, in regards to like where you're at. So we do a lot of business coaching and consulting. We can help with client acquisition, scripts, CRM, automation, really help you build the foundation as you're growing to then get you to a point where you could hire an actual sales rep. Because not everyone is ready for a sales rep today, right? So
yeah,
so we don't constrict ourselves. We do a lot of help in regards to, solopreneurs, people who are getting and building their agency out. And this is totally my fault. I called you at a terrible time because I have a 6 o'clock meeting. So I hate to cut this short. Do you want to like meet next week, possibly just kind of dig a little bit deeper? At the end of the day, I could just provide some value as someone who has been, a solopreneur about 4 years ago.
we can totally meet next week. We could also meet after your meeting if you want to. Real easy. I'm easy this way. I can tell you right now, to be completely transparent.
Yeah.
I have clients that I'm starting to work with, but I haven't been paid yet.
Fair enough.
And so, as far as capital is concerned, cash flow is completely restricted at this point. And so I was kind of trying to hold back on trying to get a setter or anything like that until I really want to get up to around between 30 and 60.
Yep, it's a good spot.
MRR before I get a setter and a
yeah, I would agree. We would just essentially be able to help you in the intermediary stage of now to 30 and 60.
If you were open to helping me do that, I mean, I have to reiterate, I don't have a lot of people, but if you're open to doing that, I would love to get some help and kind of getting things dialed in. You guys are probably more familiar with the market. I'm realizing that there's actually a lot of demand, which surprised me. Digital marketing is pretty saturated, but if you're offering what I realized is that when you say, hey, I actually do the video marketing as well, that people are like, actually, I'd love some help with that. So, and that's my specialty. I mean, the name of my company is Content Conversion. And so content is what I focus on.
Absolutely. And someone who spends money on content, I could definitely give you a good perception of the buyer's seat. But also, I'm going to shoot you a link to my calendar so we can chat next week. I do got to run here, but looking forward to chatting in the near future.
Okay, sounds good. And what was your name?
Dylan.
Okay. Shoot me an email from Herbert@gmail or Herbert@contentconversions.pro. Either one.
Sounds good, brother. We'll talk soon. You have a good rest of your day.
All right.
Thanks. Bye-bye.